6:30, we will start the meeting and we will do a roll call, so Commissioner Pereira. And Commissioner Way,
President.
Commissioner Matlock,
I'm here.
Commissioner Mo. And Commissioner Tippett.
I didn't wear anything.
Sorry, so, perfect, well, I can say the whole thing, so thank you, it's Wiggins and Commissioner Snow. So we'll go on to approval of minutes from April 17th of 2024. We're looking for a motion unless there's any comments or corrections needed.
No, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our commission meeting, April 17th, 2024.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now we are on to the introduction of capital facilities element amendments for 2024 comprehensive plan update. This is not a public hearing, and we don't have a public hearing on the agenda today.
Correct.
So this is just information and we're going to stop.
Correct, so this is just an introduction, we wanted to give you a chance to have two views at this one. So we want to make sure you had a chance to take a look at it, let us know if there's any corrections you wanted to see on it. This is the capital facilities element, so this one has unlike the utilities, as the rest of what you think of as utilities, water, sewer, transportation, has some of the other piece, has reference to parks and other things, in it, even though it references back to those elements. We sent it out to all of the different agencies that it references, police, fire, our public works department, for everyone to kind of update it from the last round. None of them are able to be here, so I wanted to have you guys review it, let me know if there's any questions about their updates, for me to go get that information, bring it back to you if I can't answer it myself. So really, it's more, do you have any questions on the element, or do you have any?
I have
any corrections? Okay,
So I see here on page 8, B1 water system.
okay,
You mentioned here that the city connects to 2,316 connections. All right, and then later on, you mentioned here that Salal has like 2,026 service connections. So I understand, so the total is 4,300 and something, okay?
correct,
But then when I go to the sewer system, when I see that you have like the collection system currently serves approximately 2,112 customers. How does this work? Because I mean, as a much more like you're providing much more water, what about the discharge of this water? I understand that a lot of people that have accepted it, but 2,000 people like connection, like there's a 2,000 difference there, 2,000 settings.
well, so we serve water some outside of the city, but not necessarily sewer outside of the city. So you could have, and outside of the city too, so there's different service areas, but. So I'm not sure if those connections reach outside of the service, this is a small area, outside of the city boundaries. But
How do they collect outside city boundaries? They collect sewer.
no,
Is there
there's
any?
water outside, we serve water
Okay,
outside.
but what about the
Outside.
sewer?
There's
What
no
about the sewer?
sewer collection outside the city, so that's what I'm saying, never mind, there's a lot more water served outside the city, but no sewer, so there'd be a lot higher.
Yeah, but my question is like, how do they?
They do, we can't, if there's actually a state law that says you can't.
No, my question is, how do they do this? Like only septic?
Yeah,
Oh.
only septic.
Okay, all right. So when they don't have the collection from the city, it's septic.
Septic, that's
Oh,
correct.
so there's a lot.
There's some very limited exceptions,
Okay.
like Snoqualmie, or not, Twin Falls Middle School is on septic. And it was an idea to bring that on sewer because that's a very large. septic.
Yes. Then everything is treated on the water treatment plant. Oh. All right, thank you.
Question on page 8 as well, on there, it's just that for my information, it's not part of the plan, but I'm very curious to see that the city water supply pipes are getting into their useful lives. How But where is that recorded and prioritized? It's just for me to find out, because that's a big deal. I don't know where.
Yeah, we have a-
information.
A water system plan that works as developed, the 2020 plan, that's on our city website, the works section.
This
And then
is
Some helpful group.
Yeah, okay, great.
When we were passing the sewer funding, I don't know what to call it, we had talked about changing out the pipes and changing out the water meters and all that being part of the 3% rate increase in charges that we were gonna do. Is this extra, or is that just kind of outlined, just an umbrella in that? Is this a whole new potential?
Well, no, the change of pipes is just replacing worn out pipes, the sort of pipe miles or the service would be within.
Oh, we already did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we're just kind of umbrella talking about how.
Yeah, this is just an update of the connections in the service area and how we, when there's new development, we have new connections, that kind of thing.
Okay,
Okay, so this is an extra thing, this is basically talking about what we're already ready to integrate.
Yes.
There is one thing also on page 32. There's a chart there.
Did you say 33?
Yes. See.
So is that on this item or the next item?
33 is the next item,
Okay, so we'll get to the next item.
33 is the next.
Oh, it's the next item.
Next element.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, now we're back to the system. Section. Practice.
On page 10, I was just wondering whether it says wastewater treatment plant monthly maximum. Carbonaceous biochemical oxygen demand 5 days per day. Where did that come from? For that level of service? I'm not, it might be appropriate, I was just curious for that.
Under the level of service for the wastewater.
Yeah, so 5 day, where did the 5 day come from?
This is just, yes, I suspect that
That's what
is-
came from our, yeah, public works provided.
Okay,
Yeah, I would guess that would be for consistency, sort of state standard.
okay,
I think that's part, yeah, I mean, I just went on the tour of the wastewater treatment plant and I think that's part of the information. Of how their system works and the biochemical oxygenation system that they mentioned.
I'm assuming they're responsible for this whole chart, correct?
Yes,
Okay, because I was reading, and I don't know if any of this stuff, it's trust me, that's everybody does.
And that chart actually, that one.
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of crossed out.
Okay.
It's got a red line in the,
Just a-
so that one line is crossed
I
out.
thought we were crossing out like 17, but the whole thing.
Okay. That makes more sense, as I was thinking like, what,
Yeah.
why did I go away?
There's another red line in the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. that's
Okay.
good.
I think the way the red lines show up, it
Yeah.
only puts a single line through the picture when you delete it, so.
Okay.
and then, so it's a 6-year update, is there a reason why it's a 6-year update? Is there a significance to 6 year?
I guess probably just has to do with some state standard about how often you have to.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just hadn't heard 6, just.
Yeah,
it is.
There's.
I
I wish they could keep them all concise, because the shoreline regulations have a different update schedule than the rest of our. And it just never lines up.
Right, you just have to keep track of them all.
Well, and the comp plan was 8 years, now we're at 10, now it's 10, so they've
Yeah.
changed, they've been,
Right.
they may have lined up all at one time and they've changed it, as it changes, they've all gotten out of whack from us.
Down to B5 municipal buildings.
Yep.
Can it be possible
Is the page number in that?
13.
Would it be feasible to add the address for the previous city hall annex?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that a deed on the property requires that the building be used solely for use. That's interesting, but I also don't know what this will, I also don't know what this is.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it.
Thank you so much.
the building.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Where was it?
Like next to the library.
Oh, yes.
The library.
I think this is a police substation. right?
That's why the police are-
Yeah.
I just assumed one of the.
Oh,
members
yeah,
of the
yeah.
department lived across the street from the library.
Me too. Every time that, yeah.
I think the road there,
Yeah,
but
so-
back in the old days.
It's like the other side of the street, right?
Speaking of police, also on page 13, the 7 police service, it says that the agreement lasts through December. I think that it was crossed out was 19 and it was before happened, so it's the end of this year.
It is
But
the
this
end
is
of-
going, so this will be our comprehensive plan, it's submitted at the end of this year. but
Yes, but I don't have a new date yet,
Okay,
because
so you'll-
it hasn't been renewed yet, so as of right now, and when this will probably be adopted unless they've negotiated a new contract, it's the end of this year.
Got it, okay.
And if they don't, it's just become null and void then. If we don't.
Well, I mean, that's why we put or as amended usually, because so,
Okay.
Then on page
Okay.
16.
Recognize the police.
Yeah.
Do you know when city council starts discussing contract stuff with that? With the police contract renewal? You know,
so it,
or are they already talking about it?
They're-
around the city council? That's fine.
And I mean, the police system, I know. So just on page 16, it says the city council could in a given year decline to adopt the district's updated capital facilities plan. I'm just curious if there's ever advantages to declining it, or does that not usually happen?
sorry, you're talking about the school district?
Yeah,
I think there's been talk about that in the past when the city disagreed policy wise with something from the school district.
Okay.
I know that in long past, there was contention about falling out and not paying school impact fees. And that was because they developed Snoqualmie Ridge under a different scenario where Snoqualmie Ridge provides the land for the school district facilities, which was anticipated to give a long benefit. I think that's been since resolved, but that's just an example where the city declined their capital facility plan.
Yeah, under the agreement, because they put the fee together, there's kind of an agreement, you know, that. They calculate the facilities plan, so they calculate the fee, so they indemnify us when we collect the fee, so we either have to fully reject it or we just accept it.
then this just provides room for the negotiation.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that same thing, in that first paragraph of B9 public school, page 15, talks about how. It's now something, school capital in the city, more than not really pulling on the bill. Be okay in the city. They're doing something with that property adjacent to Hofstad Elementary, but did they, there is a house there, you go into Hofstad, there's a house on the left. It was for sale, I thought I talked to crossing guards, and they mentioned that, that is going to be developed as part of an extension for Hofstad.
I believe it really is a parking and drive,
Yeah,
not necessarily school
okay,
building.
gotcha, okay, thanks.
Jumping to page 21, someone who's for that. And this is just simple, there's just 6.3. Yeah, it just didn't go anywhere. I'm sorry, where?
What page?
2021.
CF 6.3.
23.
So either just delete it out, or if there's something that should be there, then just let us know.
Question on page 23, again for my own information, under, I believe it's E7. The fee may be calculated based on reimbursement of other construction facilities that the utility will need to construct in the future. Is that know that value, so it's then,
If we use that fee formula, it would be.
okay,
We currently don't currently have a impact fee based on built and reimbursement program, but by putting it in here, that leaves that option if we decide to go in that type of formula.
thank you, appreciate that update. All the questions I have. Well,
Other commissioners, any more?
Mhm.
Okay, staff, do you have anything further you wanted to ask commissioners before we move on?
So go back to you for a public hearing on June 5th.
No. Thank you. And we will move on to item number 4, the introduction of energy and sustainability document. Amendments for the 2024 update. Staff.
This is a similar minor update, so we're addressing some more recent legislation. Principally, we're addressing consistency with some countywide planning policies and multi-county planning policies addressing various sustainability issues. This is not intended to address climate change broadly. So there's some new legislation, some amendments to the Growth Management Act enacted under House Bill 1181 that will require the city to do a new climate change and resiliency plan. That will be due in 2029. And so we have a lot of time to get there. And we're not trying to wrap that into our 2024 amendments. Because we still have time. So this is a little bit of a simple amendment to acknowledge that legislation, but more so to just address consistency with current countywide planning policies and the county planning policies. So a couple different sections that we've updated in particular. We've added a few climate policies just to acknowledge the issue. We have added some urban forestry policies. In that case, there was originally an urban forestry plan that had made its way through the Parks Commission and Planning Commission and on its way out to council at the time that we addressed the element, the last go around back in 2016, whatever it was. The council ultimately didn't adopt that urban forestry plan. There were some policy things that they didn't like about it. And so rather than reference to a plan that never existed, we carried forward some of the original policies that were in there into this energy and sustainability. So it's part of our. Other things, we've added a natural hazard section addressing issues of resiliency, so fire, earthquake, et cetera, and preparation for hazards. And then just some additional policies throughout addressing equity and some other minor tweaks to the legislation or to the policy basis legislation. So open it up to you guys for questions.
On page 32, section D, there's a pie chart. And date, sort of. 2006. Is there possibility to update it? Is it possible to maybe track down a more updated version of this?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, and same on page 33, the chart. You have the 2008 data, but then they said here.
That one is deleted. So
Oh, this is
if you go to the next page, that's the replacement.
Oh,
And I realize it's not an exact comparison. The state did not seem to provide that same information in their updated
mhm.
Department of Ecology greenhouse gas emissions report.
Okay, so the data is the new.
That's gonna be yellow.
Yeah, it's,
So previously, the state compared the state's achievement to the national achievement.
mhm.
They didn't do that in the current report, so I just.
So the title here is part of the figure to the next page, okay.
I don't really have any notes on it. It all makes sense to me, like, it's a helpful update. You know, always, we don't really have a lot of public transportation, so I think it sort of made it, even that phrase was helpful, just, you know, we would like to reduce and, you know, try to go more electric and fuel efficient vehicles. We're doing what we can kind of things, and so I appreciate that.
It's very interesting to read. Appreciate the chance to review it.
Part of the format and a little weird on some of this too, it's just when you put it into a line format, some things are it's the water
Always better,
space
yeah.
kind of bump around, so we'll give you a clean version for your final.
Okay.
Type of thing, I think the goal numbering gets screwed up, so page 36 to 37. So on 36, we updated the ES is sevens,
Mhm.
then we go down to
Oh.
37, which is 6.1, I think that,
Should we continue?
Yes.
I think that gets.
So,
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, it continues on throughout the rest of the document. Yeah.
Thanks for my question. The state help us at all when it comes to like changing our fleet and more electric vehicles just for the city card?
Sometimes there's grants,
There's no,
sometimes,
because I know we still have those 2 Ford Rangers in the 90s.
like, well, we have 2 Ford electrics, but we just got some grants for electric, like EV charging for them, so they may not pay for the vehicles, but they might pay for some other things and things like that.
Do they help with any kind of maintenance or?
No, definitely.
I just think because in the they passed. So we have to get them, so we can work on.
Any other comments from the commissioners?
Okay, then. We also need to. Other questions?
And we can see Commissioner White still checking.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I just don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so this one will also come back, we've got a hearing on June 5th. We may receive public comment, and want to suggest updates for. See when we get that. Ready back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the work you have, but it's great.
How much goes into?
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Wait till we get to the land use and housing. Yeah, we got a policy consistency matrix from our consultant regarding countywide planning policies and multi-county policies. It was over 100 pages long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for all of this.
A lot of details to get right in this thing.
Yeah.
Excellent work.
Well, thank you, and I guess we are on to item number 5, which is adjournment. So it is 6:54 and we'll adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna read all of this.
Yeah.